Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am here with a quick update, and I just realized that it's hot in here, so let me do something about that. I set my AC at 68 and I brought my little fan in. Happy. I'm going to talk to you about a few things. First, I want to talk to you about my most financially successful video that just hit a milestone. And then I want to, just quickly fill you in on my night out last night. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Blue Eyes. Probably going to mostly talk about Blue Eyes. Let's just get started. A video. I will have that video linked in the description box, and also I'll put it on the end screen. It is the video, I believe, yes, pretty sure. Let me check. It's the one that I thought. How to quilt as you go with sashing and self-binding. Sewing tutorial. I haven't watched that in a very long time, so I can't really tell you. I know what it's about. It was a quilt as you go, and I don't know how to even explain it. You can go watch it. It's one of my very most popular videos. It got 1.3 million views so far. It was uploaded February 1st, 2017. So it's, a little over 6 years old, 6.5 years old. And so what I'm about to tell you is not all that impressive, because there are videos who do this in a matter of a few months. Not mine. It had 196,000 hours of watch time. That means it was watched for that many hours. It has so far gotten me 16.2 thousand subscribers, meaning when people watched that video, they decided to subscribe while watching that video. And the revenue, drum roll please, this is my first one that has hit over $10,000 on that one video. And again, that might sound crazy, but that's really not impressive for someone who has been on YouTube for 9 years. But I was happy about that. And this is why the crafty stuff is the way to go for me. There's a lot of other things that are evergreen, meaning people will search and watch something years from now. Nobody's watching my car vlogs, from 5 years ago, but people will be watching craft things from 5 years ago, or in this case, 7 years ago. Is that what I said? 6 years ago. And so it has earned over $10,000. Now, on just this channel, I don't know, I'm creeping up to maybe 3,000 videos. A lot of them are craft videos. But then I also have other channels that I never talk about because I don't upload to them currently. But I do believe I have 11 channels in all, and some of those channels are still bringing in revenue. And so it's all good. But if you have a channel and you have videos that people will watch over the years, you can make some decent money, right? This video earns for me every month. I have a lot of good monthly earners. In fact, that's mostly all I'm earning off right now, because I've been doing a slew of car vlogs and videos like this. Those are not big earners. They'll earn a little chunk at the beginning, and then that's it. It just dies out. Nobody's watching them a week from now. All right, so I just wanted to tell you that, because I was really happy. Stuff is blowing around because of my little fan. Yeah, and then I just mentioned 9 years on YouTube. I can't remember exactly when my first video was uploaded. I know I joined, I believe, in August, and then I think my first video might have been at the beginning of September. But I would like to do a video on that and give you guys some stats that might be very boring for you. Yeah, so it's on my list of things to do. Will I do it? Who knows? My 10-year anniversary with YouTube, I will certainly do an update, but I'll try to do something for my 9-year anniversary on YouTube. It has been quite an experience. You guys know, when I started out, I was a hot mess, and things just drastically changed for me over the years, and you guys, many of you have been there since day one for me, and I appreciate that very much. I went out last night with Jeannie. We saw Big Mix, and Mix is M-I-X-X, at Hadley's, and we stayed for the whole first 2 sets. We left before the third and final set. The place was dying out, and we got quite a bit of dancing in, and I also had a reason to leave a little early, which I'm going to talk about next. It involves Blue Eyes, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, Blue Eyes is a guy I met, and I've done one video talking about him. He has given me permission to talk about anything that I want to talk about with him, and I'm calling him Blue Eyes because his eyes are ocean blue. That's how he described them, and they are very nice blue. He said I could use his name, but I'm just choosing at this point to give him a cute name. And so Jeannie and I went out. We had a good time. But before I went out, Blue Eyes called and said that probably more during the day that he would be coming to Memphis. He says, I'll be coming to Memphis tomorrow, and meaning today, for a job. And I haven't really explained, I don't think, what he does. I will in time. Coming in for a job, could I see him today, which is a Thursday? I went out on a Wednesday night last night. And I said yes, and I have no plans for Thursday. I'm free. And then a little later, he said, I could come in tonight and then go to the job site from your place, and then we can spend the rest of the day together. He initially didn't say my place, but then he asked, could I stay at your place? And I said yes, and I don't want shit about that, even though I've only known him for 9 days and only have seen him 2 other times. Like the night he came in, this was at a hotel. He came in, I saw him that night, and then the next day we spent together. I'm counting that as 2 separate times. And then last night, and then now I'm going to spend the day with him today. And yeah, 9 days that we've known each other. I'm good with him coming here and staying here, which he did last night. And I'm 63, and I don't have fucking time to waste, and I'm human. And I wanted to be with him last night, and we had a good time. And we talk a lot, and I'm just getting to know him more and more. And now today we are, he's at the job site now, and he told me before he left to go there that he wants to take me to a fair tonight, Delta Fair. I'm like, all on board. There's even fucking amusement rides. I have no clue what, but maybe I'll be going on a ride tonight, which I haven't done. I did go, I remember, to Funtown in, it's either Saco or Scarborough, Maine, not far from where I live, on a roller coaster in my maybe early 30s. And that's the last time I've ever been on a roller coaster or any amusement ride. And I love amusement rides. 30 years. It's been 30 years since I've done that. And I've lost enough weight that I'm sure I'll fit on any ride. So I'm excited. But then he just called me to say he wants to take me out to eat at a steakhouse, or it's just, I don't know if it's a restaurant just on steaks, but he said there's every kind of meat you can imagine, and you can have anything you want. So I'm glad he called me early, because I don't want to eat now, because I did have some ground beef this morning, and I can get full on beef, and I want an appetite for tonight. So we're going to go out to eat to a fair, and then he's staying again tonight, and he'll leave in the morning. I'm excited to spend the day and night with him, especially at the fair. But I want to say, because when I talked about him in the last video, everybody was like, yay, so happy for you, blah, blah, blah. This is, at the time, I probably knew him a week, 7 days at the time of that video. And I want you guys to know and to remember that I am telling you good experiences. Now let's just say, for the hell of it, this is not directed at him. If I were to meet someone and there were some red flags or things that I didn't like or possible deal breakers, I'm not going to say that on a video that I know that man could be watching. I don't want to say negative things. Now, after the fact, if there's stuff that was negative and I have the man's permission to still talk about whatever, I can fill you in on what went wrong. But if I have a man who says, you can talk about me as long as you only say nice things, and that's not the case with Blue Eyes. He just said you can talk about anything. But I don't want to be really negative about someone when it's easy to pinpoint who I'm talking about. Now, maybe if there was negative things that I'll find out about Blue Eyes, maybe I could talk about him down the road when there's a few other men in the mix, so you don't really know who I'm talking about. You know, that kind of thing. I'm not out to embarrass anyone or to say negative things about a guy. I had full-on permission to talk about whatever I wanted to talk about with Don. And I did because his issues involved drinking, still drinking to excess. And it's important, I think, to let people know that drinking can really fuck things up. And you guys know that I have a serious issue with alcohol, and my life changed 23 years ago when I dumped a beer out into the sink. I just want to let people know that even for me, who didn't want anyone who drank, I ended up with 2 alcoholics so far because I'm used to that. That's what I know. That's what I know. And then someone who doesn't drink, and that was good. And Blue Eyes doesn't drink. He's been clean and sober for 27 years. Anyway, I use all of this as learning experiences. So I don't want you guys to get all excited thinking this is the one, because I've also learned through this dating stuff that sometimes people really show up strong at the beginning and then it can all quickly fall apart. I'm very aware of that, and I don't want you guys to think that if in a week from now I'm telling you that I'm not going to be seeing Blue Eyes anymore, I don't want you to think that my life has fallen apart. I'm prepared. I'm prepared for this. But I'm also not going to be so worried about it that it's all I focus on. So just let me do my thing. Oh, yes, and you know, some of you are like, oh, you know, like, hope this is the one, and I hope this works out for you. This has already worked out for me, and I'm going to tell you why. I met him. My goal is if I'm talking to somebody, it's a success if I get to meet him. And I've met him, and I wasn't even looking to meet him. I was friending him on Facebook. I had absolutely no desire to meet him. That's not what I was looking at. But then when we started chatting and he wanted to see me, I was like, sure, you know? And the other thing is that I have learned now that kindness and chivalry still exists. And even if nothing comes out of this for me and Blue Eyes, I have learned a big lesson that I can now expect that there are other, you know, really considerate and nice men out there who will do the little things that I haven't been getting, right down to, you know, no one even giving me a compliment up till now. Not even say, oh, you look nice tonight. If I can remember right, I have not heard those words out of any of the guys' mouths that I heard from. I think Porchman, he might have complimented me now that I think about it, but we met and then we just never went out. Just don't get your hopes up, but it is okay to say, gee, I hope this works out. I'm just right now, I'm in this at the very beginning, and I'm very well aware of, you know, how this can turn out. Does it mean it will? No, it could end up being good. I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so yesterday he said that he would be coming, and I knew I'd be spending some time with him today, but then it turned out that he came last night, so that was nice. And of course, he had Rocket. He asked, and I meant to say to him, please bring Rocket. And he said, do you mind if I bring Rocket? And I was like, if you don't bring Rocket, then you are no longer invited. That's his talk. And will have a picture. I'm a little bit busy today, but I will have a picture of at least Rocket, and somebody wanted to see the roses. Try to include that right here. Okay, if you saw that part, that means I did indeed have time to include it. Yeah, so go watch the first video, and he's just very kind, and last night he brought me something, in my book, better than roses. He brought me 2 fucking tenderloin roasts. For real. He knows I'm carnivore, and that is what he brought me last night. Now, I know there's a lot of women who wouldn't think that's a cool gift. It was right up my alley, and it's thoughtful because he apparently understands that carnivore is important to me. So let me go get them. Okay, they're pork roasts. I cannot believe the prices are so much lower than here in Hernando, Mississippi. This is Arkansas. He lives in Arkansas, 2.5 hours away from me. But he said that's not going to be an issue, and I believe him, because in 9 days, he's come here and, and stayed when it was Labor Day weekend, and now he was here last night. He's going to be here with me all day today and tonight, and so that's all good. This is Smithfield, topped with real bacon, apple smoked bacon, fresh pork loin fillet, and it is $4.17 per pound, and this nice fillet was only $8.59. I'll let you see the tag. I can't see what I'm showing you. Now it is seasoned. That's okay. The amount of seasoning compared to the amount of meat is good, so I'm good with that. And he told me how to cook it, how he cooks it, and I might try one his way, and then I might try one in the air fryer. Then this one is lemon and garlic. That sounds yummy. And this one is a little bit, 50 cents cheaper, a little bit smaller. And is there anything else I want to tell you? Nope, same thing. Oops, I got ice falling off it. If any of you have ever received a meat gift like this, leave me a comment. But you know what? I do have quite a few carnivores who follow me, and carnivores love to report when they get a gift. And somebody, her husband, for Valentine's Day, was just wanting to get her some meat, and he found a roast or something cut in the shape of a heart because it was Valentine's Day, and he got her that. How cool is that? So yeah, some might have had some meat gifts. Let me go put these back. And I know some of you are going to say, but you only eat beef. And I've never said I only eat beef, never. I eat mainly beef, but I will eat all the other meats. Everything, chicken, poultry, fish, anything. And I eat organ meat, I eat raw meat. I eat raw beef, quite a bit of it. Anyway, so I thought that was just really cool. And then, so today he's gone right now. When he comes back, if there's time, I don't know what we would do, but I do have like some orders, because I have started selling to my exclusive shoppers, meaning it's not for the public. Some of the fabric that's in my closet, I want to start moving that. I'm going to start having more stuff on eBay in the form of penny auctions, so always check my eBay now. So, if we have time to kill before we go out for the evening, he can mail my packages at the post office. He wouldn't even let me take my own package in. This guy is just so considerate, and I found that I really like that. But then he called and said he wants to take me out tonight to a steakhouse or whatever. It's a, I don't know if it's a barbecue place, but it's in Bartlett, which is where my Hadley's is. before we go to the fair. And I'm glad he let me know that early, because now I'm not eating. I ate some beef this morning when I was giving some beef to Rocket, the dog, and I could fill up really easy. So I said, I'm saving my appetite, and I'm going to eat at a restaurant for the first time in many years. I know, if I can remember right, I have been to a restaurant twice since 2011. That's 12 years. And I did try to figure this out. Once with my husband and once with Derek. I do believe only once with Derek. Twice with Derek. I think one was before Carnivore and then one was after Carnivore. So since 2011, I've been to a restaurant, or no fast food, no takeout, none of that. 3 times, okay? And now I'm going to go eat some meat. And I have no idea. He's like, they have steaks, they have any kind of steak you can think of, and they have chicken wings and shrimp and all that. So it's gonna be nice. I'm actually going out, like, on a real date, which is something, again, that I haven't been doing, At the most, I had somebody meet me at the thrift store, which was fun, which I liked, but this is different for me. I'm happy that we actually met, and I'm very happy that I met someone who is that kind and considerate, because it has renewed all hope that still does exist out there. And I'm letting you guys know, because don't give up. People give up way too soon. Put it this way, you know how I say all the time, because it's true, I'm not doing carnivore to lose weight. I did carnivore to heal, and because I was told it would kill my cravings, which it did, and that it could help my inflammation so I have no more joint pain, which it did, except, I got a little bit in one knee. I'll take it. Everything else is good. So weight loss is just a side effect. And I think of dating in the same way. I am chatting with a lot more men than I've ever ended up meeting. And that got easier. It got easier to start a chat. It got easier to end a chat when I just wasn't interested in that person, because I don't like to just drop off. I like to let people know, So I am building my dating skills and my confidence by going through these steps, and I do put a lot of time into it. Those of you who think, oh, I'm going to meet somebody and then it falls apart and maybe that happens another time and you give up. No, don't be on dating sites and chatting with men, or even getting the chance to meet someone. Don't think of that with, this is my man, I'm going to find my man. That's not the goal. Go into it thinking, I'm going to build my skills, my social skills with men or women or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anyone who's on a dating site. Think of it as a learning experience, as education, and don't be upset if it doesn't work. I've gone through some things that, have been a little bit hard for me, or heartbreaking a little bit, but yet I've also learned that the good that it can start out as can quickly fall apart. There are a lot of people who will be in full denial or just flat out lie. You don't know how many men even have in their profile they love to dance, and I will hit them up and start a conversation mainly talking about the dancing. Do you go in the Memphis area? Do you do this? And then they'll be like, oh yeah, no, I was talking about back in the day. I haven't really danced, in the past 30 years. And it's like, well, then get that out of your fucking profile. You learn so much along the way. And if you look at it as a learning experience, you're not going to feel like you're failing in this dating pool, You're winning every time. Every guy that I have chatted with and or met and or actually spent time with, I have learned something valuable. Even if it ended not good, I learned valuable things. And I think that's making me better for anyone else who comes along. Because I'm flawed too. We all are. And you'll hear a lot of people say, you gotta work on yourself first before you're good for anybody else. That's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. You can work on yourself all along the way. And absolutely for real, if you have trouble with someone and you think it's because of you, it is not. Everyone is lovable, likable, unless you're a serial killer, stuff like that. Be confident in yourself, and if it just doesn't feel right, it's because it isn't right. Move along, find somebody else to chat with. And if it's the right person, it's going to feel good. The right person isn't going to make you feel like you need to be stifled because you're afraid to say something they're not going to like or that they're not going to want to talk about. Who can live a life or even have a significant length of time relationship if you feel like you're not allowed to talk, or that you're not allowed to do certain things, or that you're catching them in little white lies? It's like, if it makes you uncomfortable, fucking get out and find somebody else. You might have to chat with 20 guys before you actually find one that you'd like to actually meet and that you actually meet. And then that still could fall apart. Doesn't matter. You got a lot of education on the way. I'm serious about this. You'll be surprised how much you learn about yourself. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. Because when I agreed to meet Blue Eyes, I wasn't in it to meet him. I didn't even know anything about him. I didn't even have a profile to read. But you know what? Half the time the profiles don't mean anything because they'll say, oh, I just threw that in there. You know what I mean? It's like you ask and they just, oh yeah, well, I used to like to do that. And like, I used to stay away from anyone who says hiking, outdoors, life, this, that, the beach. I don't want to do any of those things. And now I'll still chat with those people because they probably haven't done any of that stuff in a very long time. And they have it in their head, if I meet someone, I'll want to do those things. No, they'll be a couch potato no matter what. All right, you guys, I know there's other things I wanted to point out, but I'm going out. I'm going out this afternoon, tonight. I'm going to a fair. I'm going to have a belly full of meat when I go to the fair. And you can bet your sweet ass that I'll be filling you in if I go on any kind of amusement ride. I need to bring my camera. I need to get a bigger bag so I can bring my video camera and record some of this. But you're not going to see Blue Eyes. Not that, no. Okay? All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.